another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Child's Eye Studios. Deep behind the enemy line, this is Raider Reaction. Welcome to a Monday edition of Raider Reaction as we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide, touching on all the hot league stories. Prime, it's not saying I can connect you. Touching on all the hot league stories as we do every Monday and Wednesday. So, hold on, we got a little couple technical difficulties here right out of the gate. Prime, your camera is not up. So, connect and reconnect. I see you, but no camera icon. So, as we do every Monday and Wednesday, we are going to run through all of the top league stories, touch on the Raiders' Bills debacle, as well as our 31 enemies. Of course, we can't get by that nasty debacle, unfortunately. So, let's start with probably the biggest news that had broke tonight, because they're talking about it right now. It's breaking news. Garoppolo going to the Niners for a second round pick. They have 2 seconds as they picked one up in a trade, so it's not like they're depleting their second round pick. So, is it a bad move for the Winers? Probably not. They need a quarterback. They released Hoyer immediately to make space. So, for them, a team that already had 2 number 1s, or 2 number 2s, it's not it doesn't hurt them. And the Patriots had basically held on to Garoppolo as long as they possibly could. And knew they weren't going to be able to sign him. So they held on to him as long as possibly could and dealt him before the trade deadline. So basically that's how that shook out. Was they were just going to hold on to him. And now, basically they're crossing their fingers and they're going down the stretch without a solid backup quarterback in-house. So they are they're rolling the dice on Brady and his his wheat germ and his avocado ice cream and all of his other garbage he eats. Prime, you got to jump back out and back in or something, man. You are not coming up on camera that I can add you, so you're going to have to jump out and back in or something. So we're trying to get Prime added in, as we usually have Prime with us every Monday and Wednesday. If we can't get him on video, we will pop him in on audio here in just a second. If we can't get him in on video for some reason, we'll go old school. Freaking Facebook, I tell you, this is what happens when you work through free services. What do you expect? Because if I could pay it, there would be somebody to call and complain. But we're working on it, Popeye. We're working on it. We're having technical difficulties with Prime's camera for some reason. He's trying to jump out and back in, so we will try for another minute. So, while we're waiting for Prime, let's let's touch on this buzz topic, man. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. So, let's touch on the elephant in the room. Of course, you got my instant reaction last night after the game. But I will, God dang it. Come on, Prime. Facebook. It's killing us, killing us. There we go. Wouldn't work on the other. One but not the other. Technical difficulties on Ghost to Post. That's how we're starting out a Monday for, unfortunately. Bear with us a second, folks. Bear with us just a second. We have Prime joining the broadcast finally after a minor technical difficulties there out of the gate. What's up, Prime?
What's up, Commish? What's going on with Facebook right now? Trying to tell me that this whole thing was about to start.
I have no idea. We've been started, but that's all right. So we touched on the Garoppolo trade out of the gate. So any quick words on that? Because we've already pretty much touched on it. I don't think it's a bad trade for either side. Patriots weren't going to keep him. They needed to get rid of him and before the deadline. And obviously the Niners need a quarterback. So.
Well, yeah, but I think it means a couple of things, all right? That means the Patriots are pretty confident that Tom Brady's going to play for another year or two. You know? Now, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's an unrestricted free agent next year, but this does change some things because now the 49ers will have the chance to either franchise tag him or give him a transition tag. So if they manage not to sign him to a long-term deal, then they're still going to be able to keep him. So he's going to be the 49er quarterback, and ultimately that just means that, I don't know, either Jimmy Garoppolo has got to be the man, and if he's half the quarterback they think he is, and that's one less landing spot for future free agents like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. It's got some ripples at least. You know what I mean?
They leave nobody in house to back up Brady really the rest of the year. They're pretty much hanging their dick out for the rest of the year with no solid backup. If Brady goes, but I mean, I guess if Brady goes down, you're basically screwed anyway. So.
Well, yeah, and then all of a sudden the next incarnation of friggin' Matt Castle shows up, and they still win 11 games. Like,
come on.
I am not like bringing out new news. This actually happened. That's history. That's just the way it happens.
I know, but damn it, whatever.
And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't even win the division that year, though. Like they won 11 games and didn't win the division.
So, well, we already kind of let's move on from that because we already kind of touched on it. Now, the other big news: did you see the heinous injury to Zach Miller? Oh my God!
Actually, I have not seen it just yet.
Ooh.
I have heard all about it though.
It's bad.
I know it's absolutely horrible. I mean, it would be one thing it's a dislocated knee, you know, but it's not the dislocation that is the biggest concern here. It's the fact that he actually injured a major artery.
Yeah.
And
it's really bad, man. It's one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. It's really bad. And it's really bad.
I mean, is it like Joe Theismann bad?
It's Joe Theismann bad. It's Joe Theismann bad. It's really bad.
Oh.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
we're talking about saving the guy's leg, not when he's coming back, if he'll ever walk again or even keep his leg. It's really, really bad, man. It's one of the worst injuries we've seen. It's really, really bad. Oh, what are you doing?
Ah!
I knew it was coming. I was like, he's about to drop this
I was trying to scroll down. It seems like there's all these comments.
Just roll with it. Roll with it. What's up, Mark Anthony? What's up, Jason? What's up, everybody? Thank you all for joining us as usual on Monday and Wednesday as we goes to the post, dropping back deep in the pocket, hitting all the hot league stories. We appreciate it as always. Any second you spend with us, our band of pirates. He's Prime. I'm the Commish. This is Goes to the Post. So, our thoughts are with Mr. Miller, former Raider. Hope he can at least, forget football, man. Hope he, health-wise, he comes out all right. Now, before we get into the games and what happened, we've got these Calvin Johnson rumors popping up again, Prime. We got Calvin Johnson rumors popping up again.
Yeah. Sal what's his name? Sal over there on that four-letter network. He was reporting that Calvin Johnson has been contacted by the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And basically they want him to come in, and every other wide receiver just takes a step down, a step to the left, if you will. That means Alshon Jeffrey isn't the number 1 anymore. He goes to the number 2.
Interesting.
That means Aguilar goes from the 2 to the 3. Calvin Johnson becomes the 1. And
now,
it looks like that pecking order would change basically with Calvin Johnson getting the most to eat. Meanwhile, Zach Ertz just gets better and better. So in a way, I kind of hope it happens for my fantasy team.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about this extensively when the rumors were about Calvin Johnson coming to the Raiders. They still have the same hurdles in place that the Raiders would have had. I mean, the Lions basically still own him. I mean, I think the relationship has softened a little bit between the two, but I still think it's somewhat bitter. And do you think it's a reality? Do you even think it's a possibility, realistically, that it could be pulled off?
No. Nah, I don't think Calvin Johnson's coming out of retirement. I think him and Barry Sanders are just fine retiring when they retired. No regrets, no nothing. Heard Barry saying that just last night.
Yeah, I did.
And
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Barry's he's still in the Detroit area. He said, still living up there. He
still does a lot for the community.
I mean,
and
at the point he is, I mean, hell, he can't do nothing but be happy with his decision. I mean, it is what it is now at this point in his career. It really is. What's up, D-Bell? It is what it is. So, let's get to it, Prime.
I'm trying to get this on my phone. I'm trying to get this show on my phone.
Oh, well. At least we got a clear feed going. See, this is what we'll have to do. You'll just have to have both phones ready, and whichever one comes in, you just have to trade with.
Right?
That way we got a 50-50 chance. It gives us one extra connection every time. So you can go use yours. So
yeah, let's get into those games.
Let's get into the games. Game 1, let's get it out of the way. Raiders at Buffalo. Not how I saw that one shaking out. Not how I saw that one shaking out. It was a dumpster fire. We looked like shit, and I can't sugarcoat it. I'm not blowing sunshine up nobody's ass. We look like shit.
All right, Raider fans, I'm sorry you're going to have to hear this, but first of all, I had a feeling it was going to happen, and I almost knew that it was going to happen. It happens every single time that you take a West Coast team, fly them to the East Coast, give them a noon start time, and just add rain, and that West Coast team is done.
We did well there last year. We did it twice last year and won back-to-back, and we were the Road Warriors last year. But then, you're right. It's not typical, man. You typically don't do that.
Right. It's been a curse. Like, East Coast teams, for some odd reason, have a much better winning percentage when they go west than the other way around.
Yeah, they're staying.
Because it's later in the day.
They're actually down at the IMG Academy in Sarasota, I believe. Sarasota, Bradenton, one or the other. Sarasota, I think. They're actually down there. They stayed on the East Coast trying to make it easier for Miami because then they're going back for a bye week. So hopefully, but
Right. No, that was actually a good decision to stay on the East Coast and get ready for Miami because that's only going to make them more acclimated to the time zone. And Miami's weather is completely different than Buffalo's weather.
Oh, yeah.
No, Buffalo, people in Buffalo are like, man, our weather is terrible. People in Miami are like, come on down to Miami. All you Florida folk are just like, yeah, we got Sunshine State.
If it's raining, it's still going to be 80 or in the 70s. I was at a college game and it rained the whole damn game. Started raining 2 minutes before the game started. It rained the whole damn game, and it was still in the 70s. And everybody's like, it's getting wet, but it was still nice. Not like in Buffalo and it's raining in freaking end of October.
Oh, that's a cold rain. That's a cold, hard rain. That's, if it were raining right now where I am, it'd be a cold, hard rain. Anyway. Yeah, it's chilly.
Well, we were overrated coming into the season, Joseph, but I wouldn't call us overrated now because everybody's pretty much got us rated about where we are. We're about middle of the road right now. Maybe even a little under. We're 3-5, so the reality.
And it was a consensus. It was a consensus overrated. Like everybody in the industry, period, had the Raiders playing way better than what they're doing now.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't. Absolutely. It's no one person, everybody. Across the board, we're picking the Raiders. No one person. So we can't feel any more worse about than anybody else. And you know what? I am the forever freaking optimist. We are not out until we are out. And we're 3-5. If we go and beat Miami, go into the bye week, and come out and beat the Patriots in Mexico City, where it's going to be a Oakland-friendly freaking crowd in attendance, we're 5-5. 5-5 teams have made the freaking playoffs before. Damn it. It can happen. You gotta believe. All right, that's my speech for the night. All right, we're moving on.
Buffalo's good. Buffalo's for real, y'all.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't know.
We were talking about it before the game. Was it more of an indictment of how bad the Raiders are, or how good the Bills are? And I would say it's about middle of the road for both. The Bills are better than most people give them credit, and we're actually not as good as most people thought we were. So,
Tyrod Taylor balls out.
Fuck Tyrod.
Yep. All righty. All right.
That's what I think about Tyrod Taylor.
Oh. Hold on. We got someone saying, tell me about the Eagles.
Hey, tell me about the Eagles. Let me tell you a little story about the Eagles. There's this thing we got called the kiddie table at Raider Reaction. Oh, and look right there. The Eagles are on it. You know what this is for teams that have never ever raised the Lombardi Trophy. You're right. That's where the Eagles are.
So, despite the kiddie table, Carson Wentz and the Eagles are for real. That defense is running. They are fast. That offense with Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz, oh my gosh. Dude, they are moving the ball. They are scoring points. Carson Wentz has full control of that offense, second-year player, and he's calling audibles at the line like he's Peyton Manning.
That's why they're trying to
dealing.
get freaking Calvin Johnson, man, because they're like, we're all in on this freaking season, man. Let's get whoever the hell we can get, and we got a squad. Things are clicking. Let's load up.
If there's an outside chance that you could get Calvin Johnson, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was saying in the offseason. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was just
right.
It gives you gets you all excited to even think about it. It's like some Madden shit right there. Come on. That's some Madden stuff.
So yeah. And the Eagles, yeah. Oh, dang, I don't have it in front of me. Who they played this past weekend? I know I watched part of the game.
Hold
Dang
on,
it.
hold on. Eagles. Shit. There's so many. Eagles. That was the Niners. That's why you forgot, because they really didn't have a fucking opponent. They played the
you're
Niners,
right.
who are 0-8. That's why they went out and got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's not going to save Jack. He's not. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be nothing. He's a stopgap until they find their quarterback. That's it.
Yeah. And maybe that is why I kind of forgot about him, because I'm sorry. If you have wins over the San Francisco 49ers, over the Cleveland Browns, even over the New York Jets, and maybe the Dolphins in the last couple games, all right, then they don't really count. Like, those aren't big wins. It's not going to, like, build your resume if you beat one of those teams. So,
yeah, it's not true. I agree. But
the Eagles are looking good.
All you got to do
Carson
is
Wentz has been amazing.
Schedule. You know, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to beat who the hell's on the schedule. I mean, that's the name of the game. You beat who's on your damn schedule, and you know, you're in the playoffs. So, all right, well, let's get down to the slate of games here, Prime. Let's start off on Thursday night, and let's run through the breakdown of these games. You had the Raiders the only thing that makes me feel good about the Raiders is I feel like it's a fucking cakewalk when we go to Miami, because Miami looked pathetic on Thursday night. It was bad.
It was bad on all fronts. Like, it was bad on offense. It was bad on defense. Matt Moore looked like he might come in and do something. Instead, he turns out a big old goose egg. Like, he was horrible. I think he threw 2 picks in that game. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
Moore was just terrible, and they got blanked.
It was really bad, really, really bad. I mean, everybody been calling for Moore too. Everybody been calling for. Bring him in. You know, get Joe out, or Jay, or whatever the hell his name is, smoking Joe out. Get him out. But
the Raiders don't look just as bad.
As who? As Miami?
Yes, that's what this dude is saying.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Well, he says we look just as bad.
We don't look just as bad as Miami. Come on now. You get your car through for over 300 yards. We did not look as bad as Miami. Come on now. 40-0. We look bad, but
yeah.
Hold on, Prime. I'm about to step on a tangent here because it amazes me how week to week we're drunk. I haven't been to the bar yet. Now maybe after.
I plead the fifth.
He may be. I don't know. Plead the fifth, or you drank the fifth. Or both. I'll plead the fifth because I drank the fifth. But, piss on it. That's it. I mean, do we even really need to say anything else about the Miami-Baltimore game? Other than the fact, well, there was 2 things there because you had the Flacco hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's good football.
Anytime you leave the field with blood running out your ear, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, you should have. The look at his eye. He looked like he just took an uppercut from Tyson. He was so lost. He was so lost. Yeah, I've been to L.A.
And then you had Nadam Kasu, who is, first off, Ryan Mallett should not get up in the face of a defensive lineman that's twice your size. That's a bad move right there to begin with. But you can't grab an NFL quarterback, even if it's a backup NFL quarterback, by the throat. That's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, you're going to get a flag. Maybe a fine.
I'm guessing a fines. coming on that one. I didn't hear any of it one today though, so there probably isn't one coming. Maybe tomorrow. Usually, I would be surprised. I thought you would hear about it on Monday.
Yeah. Nah, a lot of league news comes out on Tuesday. It's still up for the Monday night game.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But that was a bad game. That was a bad game. Now you had the London game, the early game, Minnesota, Cleveland. Tried to watch that game. That was just a bad game, man.
Cleveland had a lead for a little while. I thought for a second they might just do.
Yeah, well, that's the story of Cleveland football right there. I thought for a second, and no, no such luck.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking up some. Somebody said there was some breaking news, and I was looking it up.
Breaking news.
Federal judge reinstates Ezekiel Elliott's suspension.
Oh, dang, I just dropped the one running back. Oh.
Damn, yes. The on again, off again, on again, off again suspension is on again. Ezekiel Elliott.
It's on again.
Reinstate suspension. So here you go. You got dicked around with it, and now look. Here you
Told
go.
you.
It's week fucking 9, and now he's got to sit out 6 weeks? You dumbasses.
And you don't mess with Roger, the Hammer, Goodell.
Dumb asses. You should have took that out of the gate and then had him down the stretch. Now you're going to miss him down the playoff stretch. That was stupid, man. That was a stupid move. But, hey, they thought they were going to beat it, and it's backfired on them. It looks like it's backfired on them. Of course, they're going to appeal again, so who knows? But, hey, if it's not going to get appealed too many times and reinstated and appealed and reinstated, so. But
yeah.
There's some breaking news for you there. Some breaking news for you.
Man,
So,
Chubby Ezekiel has been running angry.
Minnesota beats Cleveland. Not a big shocker there. Oh, here's another shit game that turned out actually to be pretty close. The Cincinnati Bengals pull out a win over the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Andrew Luckless still Indianapolis Colts. I don't think Luck's ever coming back.
No.
Neckbeard is out.
No, he'll come back. He'll be back next year. They're not even going to waste their time with bringing him out this year.
No, why would you? Why would you? I mean, they're bad. Their record's not good right now, so why would you? I mean, there's no point. I'd say the season's pretty well over for the Colts. I mean,
oh, yeah.
They got some hope.
That's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
I mean, T.Y. Hilton still gives us all. I still like T.Y. Hilton. But
yeah, but
and Jacoby Brissett has been better in recent weeks than he was this last Sunday. So,
thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
it's my man Joe. What up, Joe?
So, not a great game. Not a great game at all. Now, what was a much closer game than you thought it was going to be was the Chargers at the Patriots, which turned out to be a much closer game as the Patriots pulled it out 13-21. It's unfortunate.
Man, the Chargers just figure out a way to lose. It's all they do is figure out a way to lose. They're in just about every game, and they haven't really been blown out yet. You know, they're always losing by a missed field goal or a blocked field goal, like on some bull, man. The Chargers could easily have been 5-2 if they had a decent kicker.
That's their MO, though. They find a way to lose, man. That's why they're the chokers. They just find a way to lose. They just find a way to lose.
And all of a sudden, the Patriots' defense has come alive. A lot of people are writing off the defense of Bill Belichick there as the worst defense in the league, including myself. But it never seems to frickin' fail. Man, Belichick
Yes,
and Tom Brady and the defense and everything just starts to come around and they start winning games. They're going to rattle off 4 in a row or something stupid like that. Man, you can never write off that stupid team.
You've got the Bills that are challenging them a little bit in that division this season. It's good to see somebody they've got a running game. The thing about the Bills was what worried. I kept saying it coming into the game. If it was an adverse weather game, they had Shady McCoy, and I thought he was the guy I was worried about. And you get
because he's a top 5 back.
What's that?
Because he's a top 5 back.
Well, he is, I guess. We had this discussion.
Man, some of these Raider fans out here are just hollering for heads. Heads are going to roll, fire everybody.
I'm telling you, if you were the Jack Del Rio press conference from earlier, dude, it was like you could hear the fucking Jaws theme song playing in the background. The entire comments was like, I want his head, bring it to me. Yeah, just over and fire his ass. Over and over. They want the offensive coordinator, want the defensive coordinator, fire everybody all the way down to the goddamn water boy, fire Del Rio. And that's all the comments were. It is ugly right now.
Dang.
You know, even in my own booster club group, so many people last night were like, Miami tickets. I just want what I paid for them. Just selling them right and left. I couldn't believe it, man. It's disgusting behavior. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It's not the end of the world.
Everybody feels better after a trip to Miami. So.
Everybody hurts.
Not easy there, hotshot. Whoa. Pull the reins back on that one.
Yeah. Come on. It'll be all right. Go to Miami. We're going to make things better. Because I agree.
There are a bunch of bye weeks this week. There had to have been 5. I think there were 5 teams on a bye week this week.
We'll get
it's
right.
Terrible.
And see, I hate calling the season over until the season's over. Because
the season's not over. We still got more games to get through.
It's a digital age, and I'm going to start taking screenshots of all these shitty comments and stuff I see in groups and stuff and start saving them in a file. Because come the playoffs, I'm going to see these same assholes posting these groups be like, you know, oh my God, you know, they'll be out there rocking their jersey and proud as hell like, you were throwing us under the bus 5 weeks ago. You know, like, this team sucks. We suck. Season's over. You know, God damn, come on. The season's never over until it's over. Sports are built on winning streaks and getting hot. I mean, that's sports. That's sports.
Damn it! You are right. You are absolutely right. It's never over until it's over. On the road to success, there will be nails. You got to persevere. You got to come through.
You got to drive on the rim sometimes.
That's right. It's okay because it's a lowrider, son. All right, enough of that.
Playoffs. Ain't nobody talking
about
playoffs. We're just talking about getting a goddamn winning record going. That's all I want to see, baby. Just put us back in the damn conversation.
Did anybody watch the game of the week?
Which was?
Oh, the best game of the weekend was Seattle versus Houston. Seattle at home, the Seahawks, and Russell Wilson versus Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
Yeah,
and it was a shootout.
Deshaun Watson in fantasy football. That's just goddamn amazing. This guy's been putting up like 30, 40 points every week. You think it's just like, I mean, that's like a rudimentary call for a fantasy football owner. You would think to start Deshaun Watson, but you know, I mean, especially over Kirk Cousins, a guy like Kirk Cousins. If you had, you know, who would you guys start, Kirk Cousins or Deshaun Watson?
you.
Hey, As you may have guessed, Prime benched Deshaun Watson this week in fantasy football, and that hurt.
All right, so no one says shootout when you say Houston at Seattle. You think Houston brings defense and a rookie quarterback? I know he's Deshaun Watson. I've been drinking his Kool-Aid since he was at Clemson. I was like, that boy's going to be good. That boy's going to be good. He beat Alabama. That boy's going to be good. He was the third quarterback drafted in this year's draft. I laughed at that too. Mitch Trubisky, friggin', oh my God, Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, went before Deshaun Watson. Like, man, they're all on crack, okay? I know Deshaun is good, but when you think of those two teams, you don't think shootout. Seattle's supposed to have a good defense. I don't care if they're getting old. Nobody throws for 400 yards against the Seahawks. Nobody but Deshaun Watson. Like, 38-40, I think, was the final of that game. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bleed green. You should really see somebody about that bleeding green problem. You should see
and bleeding black and silver is healthy. Like, if that really comes out of you, then I only bleed three colors.
Green means infection. Come on now.
Red, white, and blue. Black means decay. All right, red, white, and blue, baby. Those are the only colors that matter.
All right. Well, all righty then. So, yes, that was the game of the week, and Seattle pulled it out. Russell Wilson, man, is not he's not getting enough credit this season. The Seahawks are actually looking decent, man. They've crept up, and they've got a sneaky good record all of a sudden. So,
yeah, and Russell Wilson is so super solid. It's ridiculous. Like, Seattle used to be this punch in the mouth. We're gonna run it 40 times, which reminds me of what y'all need to do to beat Miami. To give that man the ball, the man that Seattle used to give the ball all the time, and that's what their whole offense was predicated on, was running the ball. And then all of a sudden, they got rid of Marshawn. He's got to
be there. He was suspended because he wanted to run his ass out on the field the week before. It would have been nice if he was there, but...
What about those other, 4 losses or whatever?
Well, yes, he needed to get the ball more. I agree. But this last week, which we could have used him, man. That's the type of game Marshawn could have really, we could have really used him.
You're right. Anyway, but Seattle used to be this powerhouse run team, and you had Russell Wilson, who was just he was just a game manager, and now all of a sudden, man, he's just letting it fly, dude, letting it fly, throwing 40-yard bombs, still with bum receivers too. Bum receivers and David Breakyard Baldwin. Baldwin, man, that guy's garbage.
Yeah,
anyway.
He does have a bunch of just average ass guys that just.
And Jimmy Graham, who can't catch a ball in Seattle. Jimmy Graham can't catch a ball in Seattle, although he had a great day with 2 touchdowns.
I've heard rumors that the Saints are wanting to bring him back. I've heard rumors that the Saints are wanting to bring him back. So. That would be interesting because they seem to use him right there. Seattle doesn't use him right. They never have.
No, they don't. The Saints should have never got rid of Jimmy Graham. I never understood that. You pay that man. Like, he was easily, tight end 1A behind Gronkowski 2-3 or 4 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. But, and the only tight end that I think was actually better than them died in jail. So.
Oof. Ow. Ouch. All right, let's talk about
that boy out of Florida could ball.
You had New Orleans. Actually, we were just talking about there. Just mentioned with Jimmy Graham. They took down the Bears, who had that heinous injury to Zach Miller that we touched on earlier. 20-12. The Saints they're hanging around, man. They're sitting at 5-2.
They've crept up and they're leading that division right now.
Yeah, they've been another team that's kind of got a sneaky good record. At 5-2. So a big win for them. Taking down the Bears. The Bears are the Bears, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, but the Bears will jump up and get you. They played pretty competitively. By no thanks to Mitchell Trubisky.
Better than we are right now. We're the Bears right now. That's how shitty we are. We're the Bears. They're 3-5 too. That's terrible.
Wow.
We're the Bears.
It's a rough first half of the season for a bunch of teams. You know, there are a lot of teams that aren't living up to the bill they thought they were right now. And it seems like,
but
I mean,
you're only as good as your last game, really. And a winning streak is waiting around every kickoff, man. There's just something about momentum and mojo of a win that you start to get one, it builds something. Two starts to build something. If you get that third, then all of a sudden, man, the juices are flowing, the ball's bouncing your way, and crazier things have happened.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
whatever. All right. Atlanta at the New York Jets. 25-20 takes care of New York, who McAllen, man, he keeps putting up points, but keeping him in it.
yeah, Atlanta's been underperforming. I mean, they haven't been the team that everyone thought they would be. It's like, I don't know if they're suffering from that Super Bowl hangover.
What was that? From Ric Flair?
Oh, yeah, no, the door was open.
Oh, they were suffering from Ric Flair.
Yeah, woo. Yeah, no.
But they're Atlanta. It's a hangover, man. They're 4-3. They're still hanging in there, though. I mean, the Saints are only.
I mean, they still.
One game out. That's it. Only one game out of first. I mean, shit.
Yeah, and they still have weapons. I mean, with Sanu and Julio and those running backs down there. I mean, they still have weapons.
Devontae Freeman.
Matt Ryan's still good. They just got rid of their offensive coordinator, or he left, more or less. They didn't get rid of him. He left.
I've been
they're going through those pains.
Matty Ice cold for years now. I just do not think he's a big game quarterback. I don't. I think he's your modern day Dan Marino that puts up a lot of stats, has good wide receivers, throws it around, pass heavy, and puts up a lot of stats, and he'll never win the big game.
In this day and age, there's a bunch of Marinos. Or at least there's a handful of Marinos in the league right now, just because of the passing league that it is. So,
yeah, a lot of stats.
Which brings me to the next game. Then you had Detroit and Pittsburgh, with Pittsburgh visiting Detroit in the Sunday night game.
Yeah, that was that actually turned out to be a little more lower scoring game than I was thinking that was going to be. Only 20-15 as Pittsburgh steals that one from Detroit. That's one I think Detroit really wanted to take home, as it drops them to 3-4.
Yeah, with Green Bay pretty much done. I mean, they're not going to do anything.
The Vikings. Who saw that, man, with Bradford not in there?
Man, Case Keenum doesn't turn the ball over. He's not bad outside the pocket. He's more pocket. He's more athletic than a lot of people give him credit for.
But are you really going to win it all with Case Keenum, though?
No. I mean, he's a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, only because he can walk.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no one got to see his injury. That happened in practice.
Yeah.
I mean, people saw it, but they didn't see it.
They didn't see it, yes, but yeah, it happened in practice. They didn't see it.
So Detroit manages not to score a touchdown against the Steelers with multiple trips to the red zone, coming away with 5 field goals or something like that.
Yeah.
That'll never win you a game. But
unless you had their kicker.
It is fantasy gold if Prater's your kicker.
Yes. Good him. You were loving it. Like 15 points? Shit, yeah. Give me some double digits on the kicker. Oh,
yeah, I'll take him.
Double dipping.
Should have
So,
started
Brian,
listening.
speaking of fantasy football, we have a little special announcement. We're going to add a new teammate to the team. I don't know if you heard this yet or not.
Yeah, you think I don't read the messages?
Okay, I don't know. The shit. You know, you're a busy man. I don't know if you did or not. But
yeah, I gotta take a dump sometime.
All right. But we are adding a new teammate to the Raider Reaction team. On Wednesdays, we're now going to give you a 1-2 punch on Wednesdays, as you will have Ghost to the Post, Prime and the Commish, as normal, breaking down all of the league news, as well as the Prime Cut mid-show. And then right after our show, be a little 15-minute break, and then you have the Raider Reaction Fantasy Action Live with BC Raider, as he's going to break down all of the fantasy football news and get you ready for the week. So you'll have Prime and the Commish getting you ready for all the league news, getting you ready for the upcoming week, and then right after us, you'll have Raider Reaction Fantasy Action Live. BC Raider, get ready for all your fantasy football needs for the week as well. So you get a 1-2 punch every Wednesday. Not this week, starting next week. BC Raider, we're going to start running the ads tomorrow. So you'll see him around and get ready for him to join the team next week for the rest of the season. Bring you some more. Keep the flavor coming, Prime. We're trying to keep the flavor coming, man.
That's great. I'm glad we're adding a new teammate, man. I'm glad we're getting a fantasy show here out there on the Raider Reaction. You know, I love just the growth that is happening, man. And I did read the comments. I mean, you know, the conversation between you two. In all actuality, he seems like a good guy who's got a decent head on his shoulders. And yeah, man, he's gonna bring you some fantasy football action, which is fantastic. That's like, man, boy, I might have to like invade his show too. I'll be like, yo, hey. Prime here has all the fantasy news you ever want to hear. No, except for you make sure you start Deshaun Watson. All right.
Yeah. That's Prime's lock of the week. Every week for the rest of the season. My lock of the week. Start Deshaun Watson.
Oh, man, that one hurts.
Oh,
that one hurts.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like I would have had a chance, too.
It didn't hurt that bad, though. It didn't hurt like mine. So, what really hurt is when you're sitting at 3-4 in fantasy football, and the only thing left to play is the Chiefs' defense, and you're up by 13. So I was feeling pretty good coming into the game, and then turnover city fucking started, and now, yeah, the Chiefs' defense putting up way over 13 points. I'm about to lose and go 3-5 with the Raiders. So it's just not good. Not good on any football front for the Commish this year.
Yeah. Me not starting Deshaun Watson secured my second loss. My second loss of the year. So I'll still be okay over there in first place in my division. But anyway.
Well, yeah, you're in first. I'm in last. So. Anyway. No, I'm not. I'm not in last. Excuse me. I spoke too soon. I am not in last. Zeke and Destroy is in last. I'm not. So.
I am.
All right. So I believe we got one game left. Two games left, Prime, we haven't touched on. We've got the Panthers came to Tampa Bay.
And handed it to him.
Oh, that was ugly. Ugly as hell, man. The Bucs are terrible. Who sees this one coming either? The Bucs had a lot of hype coming into the season just like us.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. There were a lot of teams that had some really high hopes that just started panning out. And I thought the Bucs was one of them. Lo and behold, Carolina is now coming on strong. They're starting to really get their offense figured out. And Cam Newton, he wears stupid suits and he says stuff he shouldn't say.
Man, what the hell is him walking out of the press conference? That guy's such an asshole, man. He's an obnoxious prick. He really is. I don't like that guy.
Man alive. That guy. Cam Newton is a superhero, dude.
In his own mind.
He is the closest thing to a superhero that there is. The guy's like 6'4" and built like a Greek statue. Friggin', he's a prototypical quarterback. There's never been one like him. There'll never again be another one like him. I mean, he's bigger than most linebackers. Like,
get out of here with this. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. So he's got a right to an ego. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever the hell with that guy. But that was an ugly game, man. And it's as how Carolina only put up 17 is probably a bigger question because the Bucs were friggin' terrible. Terrible.
Luke Kuechly played.
What's up, T Courts?
He's an asshat. Yeah.
So, yes, bad. So, that leaves one game, Prime. NFC East battle, the Cowboys at the Redskins. And, obviously, you thought Kirk Cousins was going to score a lot of points because you started him over Deshaun Watson. So, apparently, you thought that was going to be a big game. And
I thought it was going to be more of a shootout. I thought it would be more of a shootout than Houston and Seattle. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well,
man, y'all act like Kirk Cousins doesn't score points. Like,
Kirk Cousins.
That is wrong.
You should not start him over Deshaun Watson, though. You just can't. Deshaun Watson's
That's
having
for sure.
that fantasy.
That will never happen again. I'm trading Cousins. So, yeah, Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins were feeling pretty good. Like, they've been in some good games. They competed. They've won some. Anyway, we won't talk about it. Anyway, and Dallas all on the line, and, you got Ezekiel Elliott playing with a cloud over him, but his chubby butt is still, like, running. He's running mad or something. Boy, he had that first half last week with those, 2 or 3 touchdowns. It was stupid. But now he's suspended.
They're 4-3.
Because you don't mess with Roger Goodell.
They're 4-3, and they're chasing the 7-1 Eagles, and you just stole the fucking spark plug out of their engine. So I don't know. They're a different team without Ezekiel Elliott, man. They're a way different team without Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, we're gonna have T-Bag on Thursday. So we'll get a chance to see him.
I can't believe y'all call him T-Bag. That ain't right, y'all. All y'all, that ain't right.
That wasn't even me, man. He earned it. He earned his name. Oh, that's fucking funny.
So I gotta apologize to all the people that are tuning in to see what Sarah, my wife, is doing.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh. We're like, oh, Sarah, what are you doing? What the hell is this? What's going on?
Not at all.
This is not what I thought it was. This does not look like any sort of teaching thing. What is this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Prime, we hit all the games. We're out of time.
Kansas City's winning, and they're going to beat Denver if they didn't already.
No, it's not over yet. What's the score?
Yeah.
What's the score? They're up by 7 currently, aren't they still? Last I'd seen. It looks like it's on commercial right now. But, all right, well, Prime will be back with us on Wednesday as we get you ready for the upcoming week. We will touch on this Monday night game, and then we will get all of the games.
All of it.
Hit all of our picks, give you all of our picks, and break down all the Week 9 matchups. And Prime is going to bring the Prime Cut, as he does every Wednesday.
Coming back with the Prime Cut. Yeah, I missed you guys last week. Sorry, everybody that needs to know knows what's up, so that's all good. But yes, this Wednesday, coming back hard on the hump day with a Prime Cut. Hope you are ready. Let me know. I tell you what, If you think the Prime Cut should stay in the NFL, let me know. If you guys don't mind me going off the reservation a little bit and talking about basketball and whatever else, you just let me know. All right.
It's the Prime Cut. Go wherever the hell you want with it.
I feel you. Some people are here for the football, and I'm just crazy.
We're here for the
football. You don't mess with Roger Goodell.
That's right. He is King NFL. So, that's your Prime Cut. Coming on Wednesday with your next edition of Ghost of the Post. Tomorrow, as we do every Tuesday, it's the Raider Nation Report with yours truly, as we will break down the beatdown from Week 8, and then get you ready. But we'll break it down, and then we're going to bury it, cover it up, put it to rest, and get ready for Week 9. Because the season ain't over, folks. You know, the games still keep coming. We still have to go out there. And it's prime time. Man, I don't want to show up to work on Monday having to listen to people, because everybody watches the Sunday night games, and I don't want to have to listen to that shit. So I'm going down to Miami. Me and the Commish Jr. will be there. We're going to be there at the pregame party and doing some live Raider reaction on location. So if you're at the Miami game, come hit up me and the Commish Jr. and get on some Raider reaction, live pregame action. We want to be going around interviewing Raider Nation in attendance and meeting and greeting. So check us out before the game, and we'll be down there, and hopefully we'll get to see some prime time action and leave with a W. But like I said, said earlier, we're adding a new teammate, BC Raider, bringing the Raider reaction. Fantasy Action Live, fantasy football show every Wednesday starting next week. We'll have the 1-2 punch of league news on Wednesdays. Start out with Ghost of the Post, then from 11:15 Eastern to midnight Eastern, 8:15 Eastern to 9 Pacific, 8:15 Pacific to 9 Pacific, 45-minute show, Fantasy Action Live, Raider Reaction, Fantasy Action Live with BC Raider. That's going to be starting next Wednesday. You'll start seeing the ads run for it starting tomorrow. We're going to start pushing that as we're starting to add some more shows and some extra flavor to Raider Reaction coming in the upcoming weeks. We got to keep it fresh for you. Got to keep it fresh. Got to keep growing the brand and keeping it fresh for the Raider Nation. So you're going to start seeing all of our team members a little more involved. So stay tuned. Remember, like, share, follow the page. Like it up, share it up, follow it. Tell your friends. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your uncle, tell your aunt, tell your cousins. Tell them all. Come check out Raider Reaction. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation.